It works! Yay! I'm
We made it. How are you, Andreas?
doing fine. Waited the whole day to join your wonderful session. I'm following you for such a long time already, Mauri, on your My Master Man and on any other else. And I think you just do an amazing work. Really proud of you.
Thank you, Andreas. And I was explaining before you were coming online that actually I do consider you and even Najwa, your wife, my mentors, as a matter of fact, because through you guys, I am the person that I am right now, even because I studied the Asia Mind Dynamics and I've been fascinated by the power of NLP. And that's the reason why I really wanted since 2 years ago to bring you live, so you can share to more people how powerful is NLP.
And you made it happen. We are, Natsura and I, we are so proud of you. And you're visiting us every now and then. We meet over coffee sometimes. And it's always very inspiring to hear your stories. Really, really, yeah, it just makes our heart beat faster.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Andreas, really. And okay, dear Andreas, so I just going to have a short introduction of yourself. I'll make it very brief, and from there we start.
Go
So,
for it. I
Andreas,
can drink that water.
please go for it. So, Andreas Dorn is a well-known NLP trainer, hypnosis trainer, and mindset coach. He's a co-founder with his wife Najwa of Asia Mind Dynamics, which is, as a matter of fact, one of the most powerful and well-known NLP centers in all Malaysia. It's based in Publica for the people based in Kuala Lumpur, nearby Publica. And he's actually even a creative YouTuber. His YouTube channel, which is called Andreas Dorn, My Malaysian Journey, recently, and congratulations for that, had few viral videos with over 80,000 views. Few videos. Congratulations, Andreas.
Thank you so much for your kind words. It's always great to hear people talk about me. So yeah, I enjoy also creating videos because I'm here, you know that we have talked about it many times. I'm here since over 30 years and created some videos about Malaysia, different places, interviewing some entrepreneurs. And incidentally, some of those videos just blew up and I made me very, very proud of this one as well, of course. You know, it's really, really nice when something beautiful, a hobby of mine gets rewarded through hundreds of thousands of comments and likes and shares ultimately as well.
Co-
But the
really,
main
congratulations
business
because
still, sorry.
and I say congratulations because I know that you are putting a lot of energy on it, and to in such a competitive environment as YouTube, to perform so well, it means that you really did a good job.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun to do this and it's rewarding as well. And it's, well, my hobby, so to speak, which is beautiful.
Dear Andreas, okay, so we
I'm
already
sitting
have
straight when you
people.
say dear Andreas, I'm sitting straight.
No, because I share with many people, and I really wanted you to. I know that big chunk of your life you are spending it studying and practicing and sharing with as many people as possible, and you are very passionate about NLP, Neuro
Mm.
Linguistic Programming. Can you please share with the audience what is about Neuro Linguistic Programming? Thank you.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. I'm in this field since 2003. And people always ask me, what is NLP standing for? Neuro Linguistic Programming. It's a mouthful. And after reading over 4,000 books, possibly attending many, many different trainings on NLP, with NLP, learning hypnosis and other tools, there is no common definition about NLP. But if you want to say it like this, some people, to give you a little bit of metaphor and some little stories around it, some people call it the user manual for the brain or the user manual for the mind. We all know what's a user manual when you're working on a computer or we are installing something new or having a car. We have a user manual step by step guiding us through to install or make changes to it. NLP is really called the user manual for the brain not existing anywhere else, because how many people really know how to make changes to your mind, to your brain, to your habits ultimately? Najwa and I in our company, we just simply like to say NLP is how do you use your mind, your language, linguistics part, and create habits or change habits to make your life, your dreams come true ultimately. Well, it's also NLP, and the neuro stands for your thoughts. It includes, of course, also your beliefs and the values, your overall neurology, how you think about a certain situation. The linguistics part is a bit more of an official definition. How do you speak to yourself? So what you're holding in your mind and the self-talk you have. And then also, how do you communicate with other people around you? It's influenced by the thoughts you have. If you like something, you speak differently compared to if you don't like something. And simply programming means your habits, your behaviors. And how do you then use your thoughts and your linguistics and do a behavior to achieve your desired or undesired outcomes sometimes even. And to make it even easier for everybody else around, one of our CFOs says, if it works, it's NLP. If it does not work, you need NLP. I like that as well.
So in any ways, and Andreas, it's very fascinating. So just to inform the audience, number one, you are free to ask questions. I can see that. We can stop and you can reply to, Andreas will reply to you. Number two, this is the first of two interviews. We decided to have this first interview more into getting focused on more into the analytical mind. So how to shape thoughts, the inner chat. Consequently, next week or next session will be more focused on the foundation, the concept of identity, and how we can reframe it, reprogram the inner voice that talks to us. So it's going to be very fascinating, very important that you follow the flow with us. Second question, what role does language play in shaping our thoughts, emotions, and ultimately our reality according to NLP principles?
Okay, let's go back first to NLP. NLP is also the study of success. How do successful people do something in their mind? I always like to give the example of a racing car driver. The one who is in pole position thinks differently, behaves differently, has a different conversation with himself. Language, of course, compared to somebody who's the last position. Now, let me give you another example. When I say to you, for example, and I want you and also maybe the audience, thank you for watching. You've got 10 people already watching here. I'm not sure if you can see who is there. Maybe in the comments, write down who you are so Mauri and I, we can have a personal shout out to you as well. But I want to give an example and I want the audience and you, Mauri, to react what I'm saying. And that's language, how words shape our thoughts, how words shape our experience. When I say to you, today is a beautiful day, and tomorrow, and it's gonna rain tomorrow. Sentence number one. Today is a beautiful day, but it is raining tomorrow. Sentence number two. Third sentence. Today is a beautiful day. Even so, it's going to rain tomorrow. There are three different sentences, and all of those words shape your thoughts, your experience, your challenge, your interpretation of what I said differently. The first one is with and, basically today's a beautiful day and it's raining tomorrow, but means like negating, hey, it's a beautiful day today, but hey, tomorrow it's going to rain. And the other one is allowing it to be beautiful. So how we are speaking influences us, our own inner states. Another example which I like to bring in my NLP training oftentimes is we all know, maybe you have been affected by it, or you know friends around yourself, going to school, children. There's this one teacher in many people's life, in many people's experience in school, the one teacher who can say one sentence, slip of tongue, purposely, whatever, that one sentence destroys a child's future, destroys a child's confidence, self-esteem, and it takes a long time back for the child, if ever, to get back on track. Because that sentence destroyed a lot about how the child felt at that point of time, and vice versa. We might also have, of course, teachers who say this one thing to us, to me. Some teachers said that to you, maybe Mauri, or to anybody else, that this one thing, and that child grows based on that sentence. The teacher believed him in him or her, and from that point on, the child just accelerated and everything becomes so easy. So these words influenced someone easily and effortlessly. That's the power of words. If you ever spoke something to somebody and they looked at you like, how could you say that? You realize your words have affected them. You had the best intention behind. But however, they received that message differently inside their brain, inside their mind, and felt maybe something unconscious came up. It's always an interplay with your unconscious mind. Something unconscious came up and they reacted negatively to what you said. Or they ask you, can you repeat what you said? And then you say, like, what did you say right now? Because most of us are not aware of how we are using language. So language has many, many different areas to explore. How do you formulate sentences to have the greatest impact? How do you influence people to make them feel better, or to help them understand you and your message, because you all perceive message differently? And ultimately, NLP is also about how do you live your life more consciously, speaking to yourself more consciously, behaving more consciously, not at an unconscious level, just behaving in a certain manner and not even remembering the last 24 hours where you have been. Does it make sense somewhere along the line?
Yes, yes, of course. No, man. I'm mind blown because I got a lot of questions as well. Look, Area from the audience says, I normally say and not but.
He said yes and. Yes, exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
And then one of our brothers says, Adam, yes and is used in a lot of improvement and sales because it's positive continuation.
Right, and that's called, it's actually a pattern coming from the hypnotic world by a guy called Milton Erickson, who was one of the people modeled by the NLPers, called agreement frame. Because you're very right when you say that. I don't know the name anymore, it just disappeared on my side. When I say yes and, the gates stay open. If somebody's got a counter argument, you have a little bit of a conflict or whatever. If I say yes but, whoom, the gate shuts down and they are ready to fight. What are you saying? I'm going to fight back. I'm not listening to what you say anymore. I'm inside my head and formulate my further arguments to you. But if you say yes and, then they're open there. Okay, what are you adding on to what I said before? So you're keeping the gates open to communication and you're fostering possibly mutual respect and a common understanding. It's a beautiful comment. Thank you so very much for participating as well. I appreciate you.
And dear Andreas, just a quick question. So according to NLP, are we responsible for how people receive the way we communicate with them, assuming that we speak from a space of love and we are very gentle and kind, and the person that I'm interacting with receive it and gets offended or gets triggered? Am I responsible for that? Or is that person that should basically maybe do some work and understand, that maybe it was my word, she was triggered by my words? What is your point on that?
Beautiful question. Very good. NLP is one of those few, if not the only methodology, who has its own set of beliefs or convenient assumptions how we want to interact with people. So one of these NLP presupposition convenient assumptions is, first of all, respect another person's model of the world. That means respect them for who they are at that point of time, because, hey, I don't know how you're thinking, what's your education, what's your background, where you are coming from. Second one, also in relation to this one, we are in charge of the communication, 100% responsible. That means I cannot expect anybody else to understand my point of view. If they are nodding their head, if they don't get it, if I realize or they are pushing back or arguing, it's my responsibility in that communication to help them understand my point of view. And also, of course, ultimately for me to understand their point of view. So if I don't understand where they are coming from, what do they say, I can't push back. But NLP is also about very much about a huge curiosity, being curious about other people, and basically inquiring, asking, questioning, gently probing, what specifically do you mean when you said that? NLP has got a whole set about linguistics and communication. Wonderful model to help people get into, how to say, in the same boat, same level of communication, on the same page, that's the right word, on the same page in communication.
Oh, it's so fascinating, Andreas. It makes me really, I need to come back and go back studying again because I lost you if you don't practice. I know that one of the beautiful things about Asian Mind Dynamics that once you attend as a student, you can always come back without paying the next time. So I really appreciate that.
If you succeeded, I gotta say that, if you succeeded, and you succeeded in the demonstration and the assessment test, you succeeded beautifully well.
Yeah, but because even with the men's circle, the men's work with the amazing brothers, apply some technique like we're going to discuss later, some tools, but it's even good that I can support, the guys in the men's circle as well, through NLP. So now, very important because I know that everyone can relate to this. We live in a society which is really pushing us to work many hours, to be always on top and performance. So we do experience, all of us, stress, anxiety. So through NLP, how can a regular Joe can learn on how to release stress, anxiety, and insecurities?
I'm not just a regular Joe, but a regular Jane as well.
Okay.
We want to respect the women who are watching this replay as well, of course. Okay. This question stresses me out,
Okay,
let me say something, okay? We all know people who are, and it's back to better NLP, of course, who are, life throws a lot of stuff at them. They are under pressure, they are in so-called stressful situation, they are pushed to the max, a to-do list is endlessly long, and these people just simply stay calm, relax, whatever you throw at them. Nothing is really not bothering them. They get things done. They get shit done. I shouldn't say that. They just get stuff done, basically speaking, okay? While other people, you're giving them one piece of information, one thing to do, and they stress out. What does it point to? Again, it's a game we are playing in our mind. Of course, how do people react to the pressure around? Sometimes it's good. There's a lot of stuff that can be shared about stress, basically speaking. If you get pushed too hard, maybe you have a problem with your own personal boundary. People step across and think, hey, this guy, this woman, I can give, and they just do. They follow my instruction, wonderful, not realizing that there's a burnout waiting to happen overall. How do we react to it? Well, sometimes it's good. Milton Erickson, again, the hypnotherapist, he sometimes said, sometimes it's good to be slow to be faster. So sometimes it's okay to slow down, step back a little bit. I can teach a lot of stuff, basically speaking, but it's sometimes good to get out of that situation we are in, step back, really take a break, look at the greenery around. Malaysia or wherever you are is beautifully green, wonderful trees around. Just walk, take a little walk for a minute or two, have a breather around yourself. Watch some beautiful cats and dogs playing somewhere along that line and see, hey, they're not affected by something. Watch some people drink a coffee and take a breather, basically speaking, in order to let the stress go out. Because, hey, when a situation stresses you out, it's a game you are playing in your mind again. You're seeing a lot of stuff coming up, but it's about taking one step at a time. You can't do more than one or two things at a time anyway. Multitasking doesn't work. So it's about prioritizing. What can I handle here right now? What is in my control right now? Where can I get a breather? What do I need to do within myself to have a better well-being? Also, maybe focus on, in your mind, close your eyes and play some scenarios out in your mind, how about your last holiday, about the last interaction with your husband, with your wife, with your children, when you were in a relaxed state. And you realize how quickly the mind cannot differentiate between reality and imagination as you are playing it out intensively, vividly in your mind, this beautiful situation. You will realize how quickly your inner state actually shifts. You're opening your eyes, and what will you see? You will see awesomeness, you will see ease, you will see relaxation, and the stuff that you thought was so stressful before, it might just no longer be that stressful. And the next step you take might be easy and everything falls into place. Wow, that was a lot.
No. Just to recap to the audience. So let's say Jane or Joe
Yeah.
are in the office, and there's a kind of a misunderstanding with a colleague, and let's say Jane gets triggered. So in order to detach immediately from the trigger, from the stressful situation, she has to like distract herself, as you said, watching outside on the window or close the eyes and like visualize something pleasant, right? So it's basically being able to detach immediately from the trigger, from the discomfort, the suffering, and then reframing it, looking something nicer or imagine something nice. That's what can I recap in this way?
You could say it like this, what I was saying more when you are working by yourself in a project, you brought communications conflict up. Now it's of course harder to retreat from a communication and say like, hey, I have got an argument with person X, Y, Z, and I now close my eyes. What will that person think? Sometimes it's just good to wait before you respond. We respond too quickly sometimes, too quickly, and we are damaging good things by instantly responding. So sometimes it's good to count to 4 or counting down. There's even a whole book around it. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then respond back. Or if you can, and if the situation allows, and it's a colleague of yours, maybe not a supervisor or a leader, ask that person, hey, let's break the state. Let's have a coffee together, go to the pantry, because a change of environment might be useful sometimes as well, right? And that break of state can instantly shift the whole situation, the whole context.
Thanks, Andrea, for the clarification. We have Adam from the audience is asking, I heard people using NLP for rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Can you expand on this?
Say that again. Hold on. For phobia, is it?
Yeah, rejection sensitivity dysphoria.
Rejection
Yeah, for rejection.
sensitivity. Or when you feel rejected, or when you are rejected, or so, when you are overly sensitive to rejections, that's what I understand. Let me put it in the way I understand it. Most likely I'm getting it totally wrong right now, so please correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, and add on to the comments or reach out later in the comment, and I'm more than happy to respond back. Of course, if you are sensitive to rejections, it might possibly, maybe not, I don't know, because I can't always respond instantly, give an instant idea about it, but it can have something to do with your inner boundaries overall, that you feel hurt when people reject you. It can have something to do with communication, that you are frustrated by not getting your point across to the other person and you feel rejected from them. So there are many situations that can play around on rejection overall as well. However, it's when you feel rejected, it's always about you. It's always about thinking about how can I manage my emotional state? We just talked about emotions, and also how can I communicate differently to the person you're speaking to ultimately help them understand you. I hope that helps you a little bit.
And to all the audience right now live and the one watching the replies, I will leave, of course, in the social media, in the caption, the contact where you can reach out then afterward, Andreas, and you can connect with him. So something that we all deal with is procrastination. How is the take of procrastination? Okay, how I see it, procrastination, of course, is fear-based. Am I enough to take action? So there is a lot of fear of not being able to accomplish, of course, the action that we want to take, and consequently, we give up. But I'm interested to understand from the NLP point of view, how to deal with procrastination.
If I would be a normal person, I would say, just do it, La. And it doesn't work, right? Because it's a program running inside of you. And NLP would not exist if anybody would like, hey, just do it. And it makes it happen. Of course, I do it instantly, okay? Procrastination has got different roots inside of us as well, okay? There is a possibility it has something to do with perfectionism, for example. I was a long time back doing actually a YouTube video on perfectionism and procrastination as well overall. It can have something to do with perfectionism, not being able to get started because you never know if it's good enough and you want to make it happen ultimately. Perfectionism and something to do with good enough. Another one, of course, could be, hey, that you are procrastinating because you lack the knowledge. That's supposed to be the easier one, okay? You're procrastinating because there's no clarity of where to go to. Ultimately, however, procrastination is a program running inside of you, again. And it's possible. It's oftentimes seen as a stuck state where no energy is anymore moving. You know you need to do it, but the outcome you want to achieve, the desired state you want to achieve, is so far away from you that you need to go different steps overall to move the energy inside your body to get to the desired state. In NLP practitioner training, there's an exercise, of course, which might take about 2 hours and it's gone out of your system. And honestly speaking, totally out of the system if it's a normal procrastination. But it's really about thinking about what would need to happen to get you out of the procrastination and really visualizing whatever that means right now, your desired outcome and how do you make it happen. Possibly as well, see, procrastination is a huge topic as well. You're procrastinating because what you are supposed to do at that point of time is not important. So it can also be related to your own values. Values is what is important to you. So if I'm procrastinating about something that is not important to me, it's a totally different issue altogether. Then you have to kind of think, okay, how do I get the importance into that issue to finally make it happen? Wow, it's a whole thing.
Thank you. Thank you, Andreas. I know that it's a very wide topic and we are trying to squeeze it in 30 minutes, but as long as we deliver value to the audience, that's our objective. Yes. So I know
Absolutely.
that even people, let's say, which I like, make me laugh a bit, more spiritual, are more keen to accept the fact that visualizing things can really support to manifest in the reality, whatever you want. But let's talk to Jane, let's call it Jane, that she's not a believer of any kind of spirituality or woo-woo things. If you were in the position to talk to Jane and say, look, Jane, visualizing from the NLP standpoint of view is super powerful. How would you have this conversation with Jane?
Well, I mentioned visualization earlier. Many people talk about visualization, but visualization is so much more, It's also about your visualizing is the pictures you're creating in your head. But visualizing in the NLP communication is about an outcome you want to achieve. And the outcome you're imagining, it's not necessarily a goal. The outcome you're imagining means you're activating all the senses around you when you achieve your goal. And that means the pictures you're holding in your mind, you achieving your goal, and the pictures following after you achieve your goal. How do you speak to yourself when you're on your way towards reaching the goal? The feelings you have, and of course, taste and smell as well. It's also, of course, important. Now, visualization is a very, very powerful tool. Most people don't know what they want, and they're wondering how come life is just floating by, and they're wondering how how come I'm always helping other people? It's because they're never quite clear. Forget about the word visualization, but they're never quite clear where do they want to go in their life. So that's a very important piece. Many people have a worry or a fear. What happens if I have a goal? There's a goal and then comes negative stuff out. Can I achieve it? Am I too old? Am I too young? Do I have too much hair, too little hair? I have enough money, not enough money? Who am I to make it happen? I'm busy already anyway. So hey, goal achievement, manifestation is so much easier if you are doing it, visualizing, setting your goal, setting your outcome, but realizing what kind of stuff is coming up within yourself. For example, we did one time a longer while ago, we had a training in NLP practitioner training. Somebody realized through the visualization, he realized root cause and came up and said, like, now I know why I'm poor. Because you realize a lot of stuff, limiting belief came up, negative emotion comes up. And that's good, because it means you're in touch with your unconscious mind. The moment you are out and visualizing and you're going beyond your comfort zone, stuff is coming up. But you need to work on that stuff. Otherwise, it's pulling you back again to your comfort zone. Your unconscious mind is supposed to protect you. Going out of your comfort zone, which is hopefully a goal of yours, when you have a goal going beyond your comfort zone, your unconscious mind is trying to pull you back because it wants to protect you. And change is scary for the unconscious mind because it has to learn to protect you and keep you safe based on old programs running inside of you.
My gosh, Andreas, it's so fascinating. I really wish and I hope that the audience is, you guys and girls, getting notes out of this, because there is so much wisdom. And again, would be nice. Maybe we can do more series to explore each of these topics. It's so incredible. And so Andreas, for you, it's important. What Andreas just finished to say, it basically underlines how important is, what you think, the way you talk to yourself, how you visualize things. Either once you want to manifest deliberately something that you want to manifest and that you like, on the other side, it's so important that you guys and girls be aware of the quality of your thoughts and what you visualize, because if you keep visualizing something which you are not, you fear, and you talk to yourself in a very harsh way, and the inner talk is very mean to yourself, for the same rule of thumb, you're gonna co-create what you are fear of. So pay very much attention. That's why even I take a chance, second Andreas, in a men's circle, we do a lot of work with the guys to understand how important is self-awareness. You said it beautiful. Once you connect within, either when some fears arise, but there is awareness, it's a gold mine, because it shows us where we have to work instead of running away.
You are doing a great job, because the sad part is that the traditional role still existing of man is to be strong, to be powerful, to be the alpha leader, not showing emotion, pushing stuff down, getting stuff done. And of course, when you're coming up with your master man group overall, and you're allowing people, men, to show emotions, vulnerability, stuff is coming up that needs to come up, because a negative emotion can cause more harm to the body, to the physiology, to break down, and so on. So the system is breaking down if you push down constantly. So you're doing a great job here, absolutely, Mauri, to create the awareness for man. It's okay to be vulnerable. Become a new man. The world needs a new man nowadays. Otherwise, how can we heal the world?
Well, I don't take the credit. The credit goes to the guys that are joining the men's circle, and it's a beautiful tribe. Beautiful tribe.
It's co-creating, of course, but you started up, you had the idea, and you create something beautiful, and you're attracting the man, you're manifesting the man into your group, and they are benefiting from each other then, and it goes stronger and stronger, and it becomes a avalanche of positivity around the world. I can see the podcast you're doing across the world, and it's so amazing. Yes, keep going, Mauri.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing my very best with the resources that I have, and I'm enjoying very much the journey. Dear Andreas, okay, we are almost wrapping up. Okay, so we went through, sorry, because I'm reading my tablet here.
Yes, sure.
What is NLP? You gave an introduction of NLP. You spoke about what is the role in terms of language, in terms of shaping our thoughts, emotions, and ultimately our reality. We talk about reality as well. And then you gave an example to how we can use NLP tools in order to moderate some managing some stressful situation. Can you share some more tools, again, something impactful that everybody can do easily in order to either calm down or let go anxiety or fear?
That would take a long time now, but I want to give you something that I always be most amazed by. Think two things possibly. One thing, okay? Be curious. Just simply like that. Be curious about yourself, about other people, about situations. It's an attitude to have. NLP is the art and science of the. There's even a quote around it that I actually can't get right now 100% correct, but it's about the curiosity about other people. What makes you tick? How come you are angry? What triggered your emotional state? Be curious about that one. How come the other person is able to trigger you? How come that situation is triggering you right now? Where is it coming from? What happened first? And everything you do, there's a step-by-step procedure preceding it. What happened first, second, third, fourth, that ultimately you're reacting in such manner. It's not just split second. We think it's a split second, but there's something else leading up to a certain point. You need to identify the order and sequence of something happening. Now we call it strategy. And then you need to start making changes to it. And then your life starts to make changes. It starts to change very quickly.
Wow, Andrea, it's so powerful, really, self-awareness. You know, it's interesting because we live in a society that just keep on manipulating us and telling us, look, if you buy the new car, only then you're going to be happy. If you have that kind of bag, only then you're going to be happy. So it's constantly giving away our power to something, some kind of validation outside ourselves. You know, self-awareness, it costs zero money. It's simply, as you just mentioned, all around this beautiful interview, is being aware on how we respond or react to a word, to a situation, to a group of individuals, and asking ourselves the powerful question, why am I triggered by the voice of Mauri, from his accent? So it's actually coming back to us constantly. The point is why people, they don't do it, and they prefer maybe to I don't know, to look for the magic pill that is going to solve their problems.
It's a habit, and you pointed it very correctly. You know, it's how we are getting trained up to, hey, the handbag makes me happy, the car makes me happy. But it's about it's a be, do, have process. Who do you want first? Who do you want to be? The moment you understand who you want to be, it's leading to your concept next week, basically speaking. Who do you want to be? And once you understand who you want to be, you can have anything you want. But oftentimes society sees it different. If I have the car, then I will be happy. But you need to be happy first and then do the work, for example, do the action, and then you can have ultimately.
This is we keep this one for the next interview, next second interview, which is going to be absolutely powerful. Every one of you watching right now or later the reply, stay with us, stay tuned. Soon we're going to have the second part of it, and there is where the magics happen, where we're going to talk about identity. Last question, dear Andreas, you are an amazing man. If you were in the position to choose a superpower, what would it be?
I thought about it for a long time because I want to have so many superpowers, you know. But and I was thinking about what do I really want is always about what do I want. If I, by the snap of a finger, could be anywhere I want, so I can travel to different places, maybe without being possible to insure myself or to get wounded or killed along that line, because it depends on what I come, because I want to study people. I want to be curious about culture. I have an immense curiosity about what makes people tick overall. And if I'm traveling to different places, be it in South America or US or East Europe or Africa or wherever it is, and I can learn about the culture, about people, I can do video records and I can share it on my channel. Today I'm here, tomorrow I'm there, the third day I'm there, and how beautiful would that be? So my superpower would be to be able to snap and I'm gone somewhere.
And you know, Andreas, okay, probably the snap part I can promise you, but you know, you never know that immense financial freedom comes to you, and you can, instead of snap your fingers, you can get a plane and do exactly what you said. So it's very much doable, actually.
Of course it is. Definitely. It was a great superpower to have. The snap part is important.
You like the reaction, like a superhero. Dear Andreas, I really appreciate you, and send my regards to your beautiful wife, Nashua.
I do.
Thank you so much, really, for your enthusiasm, your knowledge, and all the best of luck, and keep creating with your YouTube channel. Please check Andreas Dorn, my Malaysian journey on YouTube. This guy is doing very well. And we're going to see each other very soon for the second part of the interview.
Thank you so very much for having me. Thank you very much, everybody, for all these wonderful questions. Keep them going in the comments. I believe Mauri and I, definitely going to check them out, and I'm going to respond later on in more detail if there's any questions that I didn't answer during the session here right now, because there were some. Well, thanks also for having me, Mauri. Keep going, keep rolling, keep creating.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, until the very day. Yes, man. Always, all the way down. Thank you so much, Andreas. Have a good night, and we talk to you soon. Thank you.
Terima kasih, jumpa lagi, and bye-bye, as I like to say. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.